Don't be blue. Let your woman take care of you. Live your life by the golden rule. Pay no mind to the pompous fool.
What's going on, everybody? It's another Al Gattulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970. The Answer. Did you know that Eric Clapton dropped another album? I don't know how many this makes now. It's called Meanwhile. It's out now. That was Pompous Fool. Good stuff. I have not seen Mr. Clapton on tour in a very long time, and I know he does a very truncated set, barely an hour. He's on and off the stage and doesn't do many shows anymore. And I think he's, I don't want to say he's retired because he's not obviously put out a new album, but he is definitely slowing down, as it were. The man called Slowhand, interestingly enough. Coming up in 10 minutes, the first of two parts with Tim Pewitt from Wet Ticket Brewing. I recorded the interview this past Friday during our launch party of Too Much Fun, the new hazy IPA. I hope you were there. I hope you enjoyed the free pizza from Nancy's Townhouse. But I also hope that you enjoyed the beer Too Much Fun, this collaboration beer that Tim and I did back in early September. It is delicious. Nectaron and Sabro hops, little New Zealand thiol powder, an outstanding beer. Tim is very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. Clocks in at around 6.4% ABV. We'll get into a lot of stuff with Tim from the brewery coming up in just a little bit. Of course, portions of this program are brought to you by Wet Ticket Brewing, 1435 Main Street, beautiful Rahway, New Jersey. Plenty of parking available in the parking garage right across the street. Let's dive into news because we've only got the one segment to do news here, and there is a lot of it. Obviously, the hurricane that hit, first off, the folks that have been hit by Milton in Florida, my heart goes out to you. Two hurricanes in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, just absolutely devastating. But the first hurricane, Hurricane Helene, just wrecked areas of the Carolinas. The mountainous regions there devastated by these epic floods. Asheville, North Carolina, one of the East Coast's probably most vibrant, let's say, brewing places on the East Coast, hit tremendously hard. The Citizens Times reporting on the status of a number of Asheville breweries. We got this from AmericanCraftBeer.com. New Belgium's Asheville brewery suffered significant water damage, according to a spokesperson. They'll need time before coming back fully online. It'll be closed for the foreseeable future. The company wrote on Facebook, "We're heartbroken at the devastation throughout WNC, and we can't wait to be able to welcome back our community. You truly are at the heart of what we do." Highland Brewing, one of the region's oldest craft breweries, which runs 2 locations in Asheville, they're closed indefinitely. Helene has caused devastation around western North Carolina. The brewery wrote on Facebook, "We are working to communicate with our team to ensure their safety and whereabouts." Sierra Nevada Brewing's East Coast operation in Mills River, North Carolina, temporarily closed, according to the company's social media. They won't be opening for a period of time. Ginger's Revenge, who makes alcoholic gluten-free ginger beer, closed until further notice. "We are devastated by the destruction of Hurricane Helene to our city." Its Facebook post read, "Thinking of our friends, family, and neighbors during this time." Highwire Brewing's headquarters and its Rad Beer Garden was submerged in water a week and a half ago amid the flooding, according to the Citizen Times. Via social media, Highwire shared its Biltmore Village Production Brewery and taproom were also inaccessible, and that all of its Asheville locations are closed until further notice. The devastation in our community is overwhelming. Homes and businesses have been destroyed and lives have been tragically lost. Our hearts go out to our team, friends, and neighbors during this difficult time. Housed inside a yeast factory producing brewer's yeast since 1995, White Labs Brewing. It started back in 2012 as a way to showcase the influence yeast and fermentation, has temporarily closed its Asheville kitchen and taproom. Wedge Brewing announced its closure about a week and a half ago, and its Instagram account hasn't posted on social media since then. Wicked Weed Brewing said it was closed as well, has not updated its status. 12 Bones Brewing's 2 locations also closed. They say we will have more to say when we can assess the damage at our beloved river location. Right now, our prayers are for the safety in our staff and community. Asheville's New Origin Brewing, not as fortunate. The entire facility was wiped away. They cannot rebuild on the site. They started a GoFundMe to help. If you have the means to help, they'd like you to help. Burial Beer was also without water or power. They hosted a free cookout for the community. Heavy Seas Beer is, and a lot of breweries around the country are trying to do stuff to raise money to help these people. Heavy Seas is asking people to donate to the United Way of Asheville and Buncombe County. They're also saying they pledge to donate blood with sleeves up through the American Red Cross. They are trying to do stuff. I know a lot of people are trying to do things to raise money. I know Ghost Hawk was doing something this past Thursday. A bunch of different breweries were doing stuff to help the people down in Asheville. It is just an absolutely devastating time for what has happened in Asheville. And obviously we'll get reports next week on Milton and the damage that it did in the Tampa area. A lot of great breweries in Tampa. Hopefully they have been able to weather that storm as well. It's just a horrible situation. My heart goes out to those people. Halloween is coming, and Sam Adams Brewing has announced a promotion. It's an otherworldly limited edition at-home seance kit. It's designed for conjuring up the spirit of Sam Adams, hopefully, or even more frightening spirits, a dangerous endeavor, obviously, that'll demand plenty of spirited beer. Lauren Price, the head of brand at Sam Adams, says, "We've conjured a realm we have dared to explore before, summoning the spirit of our namesake. As frightful, mysterious, and even humor-filled as it may seem, Samuel Adams' presence is deeply rooted in our brand, and we're excited to help drinkers experience the season of beer in a new frightful way. No matter how drinkers engage with Samuel Adams and the former founding father, we hope they enjoy a night of seance thrills and Oktoberfest chills." So this kit, if you head over to the Sam Adams store on their website at Sam Adams, I think it's SamuelAdams.com. You get your hands on one of these limited edition seance kits. They're only $18.03. But act fast. Obviously, they didn't make a lot, so it will sell out. Each kit, features all the elements needed to conduct a seance at home. The contents an instruction card complete with your step-by-step guide on how to have a cold Sam Adams with a cold Sam Adams. Get it? A Samuel Adams portrait, perfect for inviting the spirit of Samuel Adams back to his former image. A vial of Boston dirt from the state he called home. A vial of Sam Adams hops, inspired by those who used to make Samuel Adams brews. 2 Sam Seance pint glasses that reveals a spooky illusion when cold beer is served. And a Samuel Adams Oktoberfest candle. It's a can-inspired candle that'll help set the mood for your special at-home seance. Now, obviously, they say this is for people of the age of 21. It's not suitable for children. So please seance responsibly. And we'll leave it at that. For the first time in 14 years, Big Brew New Jersey at the Morristown Armory will be a one-session event with a VIP hour. It's Saturday, March 1st, 2025. The VIP is from noon to 1. The general admission is from 1 to 5. The tickets are on sale now at BigBrewNJ.com. That's the only site for ticket sales. They're not doing Groupon anymore. It's just BigBrewNJ.com. There are only 500 VIP tickets available. It gets you in 1 hour early and first access to all special releases without the crowds. There'll be minimal discounts on VIP tickets, so take advantage when you see a discount. And right now, you can save $10 on VIP and $20 on general admission with the code EARLYBIRD. That's code EARLYBIRD. The code expires Sunday, October 20th at midnight. It's at the Morristown Armory, 430 Western Avenue in Morristown, New Jersey. Again, noon to 1 p.m. is the VIP. General admission is 1 to 5. Live music by Mr. Lovejoy, and it's a benefit for the Morris Rugby Corporation. Again, BigBrewNJ.com for tickets and info. Early Bird is the code. You get $10 off of VIP, $20 on general admission. And finally, before we break here, real quick, I saw on Facebook the other day, about a week ago, Montclair Brewing had posted something about trying to fundraise using Indiegogo to raise money to start construction on a second location. They're trying to raise $40,000. I love what they're trying to do. However, it is illegal under the NJABC rules to raise any sort of money through any of those sites, whether it's GoFundMe, Indiegogo, wherever you want to do it, to raise money to build a brewery. Whether you're obtaining a liquor license or not, whether you're obtaining a brewer's license or not, you cannot raise money to build said brewery. The ABC put out a special ruling back in 2019. I pointed this out to the folks at Montclair Brewing, emailed them privately. their response was basically, yeah, we know, but we're doing it anyway. And then was basically asked by one of the owners, what am I going to do about it publicly on Facebook? I'm not doing anything. What I am doing is informing the general public of what is going on. And if somebody is listening that happens to work for the New Jersey ABC, or somebody wants to call the ABC and say something, they're more than welcome to do so. I'm doing my role as a journalist by informing folks that that is not legal. So if you're donating money to this cause, what you're doing is illegal. You will probably be refunded at some point. And I have supported New Jersey beer through thick and thin. I don't like being called out by people on social media. And if you have a problem with me, feel free to contact me. They have my email. They have my phone number. They can certainly call me and have a discussion. What I'm doing is giving you the facts and giving you the truth, which is sorely lacking in a lot of journalism these days. I don't talk in hyperbole. I don't, I don't go with histrionics. But the bottom line is what they're doing is wrong. Now, I wish they could. I wish everybody could do that. I wish they all could, raise money however they want. But unfortunately in New Jersey, that's not the case. And so what they're doing is illegal, and I'm going to point it out. And I'll point it out every single time. And if you don't like it, well, you have my contact information. Get in touch with me. I'm happy to have a conversation. But if you call me out like that, what am I going to do about it on social media? I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to use my bully pulpit here, and I'm going to say something. And we'll leave it at that. When we come back after a short break, me and Tim Pewitt get together at Wet Ticket Brewing to talk about too much fun, drink a few beers, and have a little bit of fun for the next two segments. This is the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. Welcome back to the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. You can, of course, follow me on a couple of different things on social media. I call it Twitter. Everybody else calls it X now, but it's at Al Gattullo. Instagram at Gattullo, Gattullo. Facebook.com/AG Craft Beer Cast. And, of course, we're on iTunes, Alexa. We're on all these other little silly things. You just do a search for AG Craft Beer Cast. It'll pop up wherever you are, iHeart, Odyssey.com, all that stuff. And we're also on the Hopped Up Network, hoppedupnetwork.com. Mondays, a couple of minutes after the show ends, the entire show is on the Hopped Up Network as well as other places. And all you have to do is click, you download it, and you listen to it at whenever you feel like it. It's great. Now, tonight, we are coming to you from Wet Ticket, my neighborhood brewery, located 1435 Main Street in Rahway, New Jersey. My next guests, along with it's Tim Pewitt and Al Pawlewski. They are the owners. Tim is the brewer. Yes, I've had a beer and a half, but I'm not drunk yet, but I will get there. They've been open now for 7 years, going on the 8th year as a brewery here, which is awesome. We're having a pizza party this evening. I'm buying the pizza. We actually have to order it. We'll order it very soon. Probably take about an hour, but it's fantastic pizza from Nancy's Townhouse. And you, the many folks who are here already, are drinking the latest collaboration. It's called Too Much Fun that Tim and I put together. So more info for the brewery is at wetticketbrewing.com. Let me welcome back to the program Tim Pewitt. And for the first time, Al Pawlewski is here as well. Gentlemen, how are you?
We're doing great. We're honored to be sitting here with you, Al. You know what? Too much hard work gets done, whether you're, I'm sure, a radio guy or a brewer, and we don't take enough time to celebrate. And that's what we're here to do today, is celebrate.
Exactly.
And thank you for organizing it and helping put it together.
You're very welcome. Al, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on your radio show.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And by the way, thank you, gentlemen, for your sponsorship of the Beer Cast over the last couple of months and extending into November. This is great, and I'm really very happy that we were able to do this beer. So let's start about the beer. The reason why we're here tonight, Tim and Al, and for the next few hours, we're celebrating the release of Too Much Fun. It's a hazy IPA that clocks in around 6.4% ABV. The beer started off, actually, with Tim and I talking in the beer garden, Al, just talking about our jobs and what we do and you know, like, and how much fun we're having with our jobs. Now, I know, Tim, you came from a banking background. You were in finance and then became a brewer. I started my career at the age of 21 wanting to be on the radio. It actually started when I was 12. I went to go see the space shuttle lift off, and I recorded the whole thing into a tape recorder and brought it back from my 6th grade class. And everybody was excited to hear this little kid with a whiny voice going, "Oh, my God, look, the space shuttle has taken off." Wow, blah, blah, blah. And people were so excited about it. And I said, you know what, I like this. I think I want to do this for a living, and made it my living. And you and I both said we're both having too much fun at our jobs. But on top of that, as we were talking about doing a collaboration beer, you're very fond of the hop Nectaron right now. You've done Nectar Sonic Boom. You wanted to do some more things with Nectaron. So we said, how about we do a collab beer with Nectaron? And I threw out a Sabro hop, which really not many people have done Nectaron and Sabro. And you worked on the recipe. We figured it out. We got it done in early September, and the beer was released at the end of September. The beer's been out for a few weeks. I want both of you to give me your impressions on the beer. Tim, I'll start with you first.
I think we came up with exactly the right beer for the name. It's a fun beer to drink. We were trying to get a lot of hop flavors, as much hop flavor we could into the beer without making it too bitter. And that is kind of the road you really want to go to on these good, juicy New England IPAs. It's really growing on me. I'm finding myself drinking more and more of it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And Al, your impressions?
I mean, from the time I tried it in the fermenter to the time I tried it from the tap, it really is delicious. And a lot of my friends that I've had taste it said this is one of their favorite beers that Wet Ticket Brewing has made. So it really is. Everyone I speak to is head over heels for it.
Awesome. I mean, I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised at how the beer turned out. I knew it was going to be a good beer. I just wasn't expecting how it really comes across. I use the term soft, but soft in a good way, because you can drink it over and over again. And that's the thing we talk about, the label being too much fun. Part of that is too much fun at our jobs that we're doing, but also you don't want to have too much fun when you're drinking a beer. To me, it's the perfect tailgate beer where you can have a couple, not be overwhelmed, go into the concert or a sporting event or whatever it is that you're going to, and not feel like you've been overwhelmed banging back a double or a triple IPA or something like that. So that's part of the reason why I love the beer so much, and I'm glad that it turned out the way it did. And as I mentioned, the label, of course, tells the story of us having too much fun. There's a microphone on the label. There's some hops. There's a 4-leaf clover. We both, or all of us, enjoy what we're doing. Now, as I mentioned, Tim, you had a career previously in the banking industry. Al, you're in finance as well. I'll ask the both of you, and Al, I'll start with you first. How is the job as an owner too much fun in a brewery, where you're coming from a world of finance where you're still working in, and then transitioning here to the owner of a brewery?
It really is a breath of fresh air. Coming from my job that I've been doing since 1995 to a new industry, the parallels are there, whereas they're definitely kind of the same kind of job, but a new industry, a new people, you meet different people, it's great. And you realize when you're kind of stuck in the same job, you realize there's other things out in the world that you never really realized, which is great. And I love it. And everyone that I talk to, whether it be a sales call, whether it be anything, when you bring a beer and talk to them about it, everyone wants to. No one will decline having a beer and talking to you about your brewery and a beer. Whereas in financial services, if someone doesn't want to talk about your stock or your pick or whatever it is, they just tell you to get out. Mm-hmm. Whereas a beer, everyone wants to have a beer and everyone's smiling, which is great.
Now, Tim, you're coming at it from a different direction because Al's still working in finance, but you retired and started as as an owner of a brewery and having too much fun. How is the job of being an owner and a brewer too much fun?
I got to tell you, in my professional career, banking and insurance, I enjoyed it. I really didn't have many bad days. I got to really learn about all aspects of not only the banking business, but the insurance business, all the people that you got to meet. There was a big social component at towards the last half of my career. It was pretty much sales. So it was really, for the most part, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And the parallel here is there's just so many different things. For Al and I to own a brewery, you have to be a good host. One of the things I think we've done the best is create an environment and get our employees to buy in that this is our house.
Right.
we're going to clean this house. We're anticipating having guests over. We're going to welcome everybody when they walk in the door. And if you read our reviews, that's what it almost always says, is great employees. They love the place, and we love all of them too. I mean, they take care of us. And so from doing the host side to the manufacturing, the coming up with labels, the creativity. I love to write. I get to write a lot of stuff. It's not big stuff, but they're short blurbs, that if done right, which I think we do sometime, they make a difference. And so it's and then still the money part, the finance, where are we going to go? Where are we going to invest our money? What makes sense? Where's the industry going? What new products? What direction are we going to go? And it's been a lot better, too, for me, having had my partner, Al, here. So many people probably know this. My brother was supposed to be involved in the brewery. My brother died of prostate cancer. Guys, go out and get your PSA test, stay on it. But Al has been a godsend to me, because I am telling you, doing this alone and dealing with everything that you have to do with on a daily basis, by yourself, would have been a huge struggle. So Al and I really, I think, we're more than partners. We're family now. So
I totally get that. And what you guys do here and what you do for the town of Rahway, I think is fantastic. And you can see it. The employees take pride in what they do. There's not a tremendous amount of turnover. You've had people that have been here from the very beginning that still, love the product and love what you guys do. And I think that's an testament to the both of you. We're talking with Tim Pewitt and Al Pawlowski, the owners. Tim is the brewmaster of Wet Ticket Brewing. They're making great beer out of Rahway, New Jersey, 1435 Main Street, right here in Rahway, New Jersey. More info at wetticketbrewing.com or here on the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. Last question before we take a break here, and we'll have another break here. We'll talk about some other stuff. Last weekend, you guys had the first ever Oktoberfest in the Beer Garden. I thought it was a great turnout. Stein hosting, cornhole. You had German beers, a Fest beer, and a Marzen. I'm drinking the Marzen right now. Two beers I don't think you've ever made before at the brewery, Tim. Would you host an event like this again, and would you make those same beers or something different?
Oh, absolutely. And so I think now that we think we're on track with the recipes, we'll probably be putting them in cans next year.
I love it.
So absolutely. I definitely enjoy the Marzen. It's something a little bit different. We've got 4 or 5 New England IPAs, because that's obviously what sells in the liquor stores. We have to make them. But this Marzen is really kind of a special treat. It really features the malt. So you got some real nice malt flavors, nicely balanced with the hops, and I'm very pleased with how it came out.
Awesome. And Al, I know you're a big fan of this beer because you've been to Oktoberfest.
I love it. This beer, Tim nailed it. I didn't have as much Marzen when I went to the festival. You had more of the Fest beer, but I think both styles that Tim made, it's spot on. And at the Oktoberfest was above our and beyond our expectations, and it was fun.
It's just fun for us.
Oh no, I saw it. You guys are having a great time. All right, look, let's take a quick break. We'll come back more with Tim Pewitt and Al Pawlowski live from Wet Ticket Brewing. We got a pizza party that's going on. Eventually, I got to order the pizza because people got to eat. We're here on the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. Welcome back to the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. We're coming to you from Wet Ticket Brewing, my neighborhood brewery located in Rahway, New Jersey. Having a pizza party with the pizza from Nancy's Townhouse that I do need to order just a couple of doors down. We're celebrating the release of Too Much Fun, the hazy IPA that clocks in at 6.4%. Plenty of cans available if you want to take them home, and they got plenty of it on tap as well. Tim Pewitt and Al Pawlowski, the owners, and Tim is the brewmaster, join me again here on the program. I want to go back to the Oktoberfest party for a second. Part of the party that took place last week was pairing up with different restaurants in town to come up with Oktoberfest-inspired ideas. I noticed several folks during my time here last weekend bringing in food from the places in town. You guys ordered the pizza from Nancy's Townhouse that was bacon and onions and sort of giving that rustic, sort of German feel. And that was part of the creation of the Rahway Business District. And Heather, who's been helping you guys out the last few months with your socials, and it's a thing that the town of Rahway does, which I think is great. How is the experience of working with Heather and the town of Rahway? Is it something that you would do again?
Amazing. I think what she has done for us has opened our eyes and really taught us how the way to do things on social media and to create an excitement for people wanting to come to a business, whether it be us or a restaurant in town. They really know how to create excitement for these local business, the city of Rahway. So I think Heather and her has done a great job.
Yeah, I mean, I think our content was okay, but in terms of when to post, how much to post, doing the reels that she's been able to, I just don't have the expertise. She's trying to teach me, and that I'm not sure you can teach an old dog new tricks, because it's. I'm starting to learn a little bit, but yeah, but not only has she been here to kind of create some of that content. The lady shows up at some of these events and helps us out, whether it's decorating, and so kudos to her, kudos to the town for helping us out that way.
Yes. I mean, you guys are in a unique position, especially with the way things have gone with craft breweries. A lot of breweries, when they started opening, they were in industrial parks, they were outside of the town, sort of away from everything. You guys, from the very beginning, made it a point that we need to be in a town center somewhere. When you selected Rahway, I think that's important now, because I think people want, obviously you have restrictions on certain things. You can't serve, food and et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that there are restaurants within walking distance that you can order and bring stuff back, I think is a major component to the brewery thing. And obviously one of the things that keeps me coming back here is obviously the beer, which is always good, and I encourage everybody, come by here. There's plenty of parking in the garage across the street. You can take New Jersey Transit if you're coming in from New York City. We were just talking about you, Heather, as Heather from helping out with the Rahway Business District just poked her head in. But you can also, if you're coming from New York City, New Jersey Transit, it's 7 stops. It's very easy. You get on at Penn Station when New Jersey Transit is operating. There's 2 different lines that will take you right here, and it's literally a block-and-a-half walk. So now I've got to ask the most important question of all, and only Tim can answer this, because we've been talking about it. We batted it around a little bit. When is Rahway of the Highway, that fantastic porter that you made so long ago, when is it coming back?
Good question, especially since we have some coconut porter in the tank. We're down to, we have 16 lines now. And, every day I come in, somebody says they want this beer. Right. But, trust me, the Rahway or the Highway, has a little bit of hometown feeling for us. We'll do our best, whether it's a small batch or big batch, because you're not the only one who bring it up. But I'm not going to make any promises here today.
Okay. I was going to put you on the spot, but Al?
I'll make some promises. I guarantee we have it in 3 months.
Wow, look at that. I like that. That's bulletin board material. See, Tim.
Charlie Papazian's book on how to brew, and you can. I want to see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim answered the question like perfect athlete speak, where he doesn't want to make it onto the bulletin board in the opposing team's locker room, whereas Al Pawlowski said, no. 3 months, we're going to have it. He pulled a Jim Fossil, ladies and gentlemen. If you remember Jim Fossil, the head coach of the New York Giants, when he said, I'm putting a team on my back and we're making the playoffs, and they made the playoffs. I love that.
Predicting the Jets Super Bowl. And I think, Al, do you wear pantyhose?
I don't. Do you?
No.
Okay. All right. And we'll leave it at that. Folks, we are drinking, so, whatever we say here, take it as fact, because we are drinking. Anyway, we're talking with Tim Pewitt and Al Pawlowski, the owners. Tim is the brewmaster here at Wet Ticket Brewing, making great beer out of Rahway, New Jersey, 1435 on Main Street. More info at wetticketbrewing.com. We're here on the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970, The Answer. Now, Tim, I know you took part last night in another event here in town over at the Union County Performing Arts Center to support the theater. It was Flight Night. How was that experience?
That was a nice event. They had a really good crowd. They had some great food. It's always good to see the community come around. They're putting together a nice schedule of events over there. It's called the Hamilton Stage. It's a smaller venue than Union County Performing Arts Center, the big building. And it's a beautiful facility. The sound quality in there is excellent. So they're working on getting some comedians. They've got some Broadway performers, some classical music performances. So there's a lot of variety in what they're trying to put together over there.
So let me get this. So this is sort of like what Red Bank has, where they have the Count Basie and then they have the Vogel next door, the smaller venue, the brand new venue that they built. This is a smaller facility that will host smaller events, right?
Exactly, smaller event. I don't think they might have like 400 seats over there. Might even be less.
I mean, when I saw Al Di Meola at the Vogel, I mean, it was literally 250, 300 seats, which I think is fantastic. That's really cool. And I know that Robert Cray is playing on the main stage at the end of this month at Union County, and I'm coming to that because I've never seen him.
Party at Wet Ticket for Robert Cray. I've seen Robert Cray too. He'll put on a great show, I'm sure.
I've actually never seen Robert Cray of all the blues artists that I've seen, and I've never seen him, so I'm definitely going to that. Anyway, I know that your beer is sold at Union County Performing Arts Center. Is it the same beers all the time, or is it a rotating tap list?
They rotated around. They actually went out and bought themselves a kegerator, so they try to have a couple things on tap. But they will pick out our cans, and they seem to have an uncanny way to know exactly what their customers want. It's always at least 2 or 3 varieties in cans, besides what they may or may have on draft.
That's very cool. Now, the next event that you're having here is Pilates and Pints, Sunday, October 20th from noon to 1. It's a 1-hour class, $17. You get a pint of beer after the class. One of your beer tenders, Sarah, is running the class. You had a good turnout at the first one. Is this something that you would like to do more of?
Yeah, it's absolutely. I think it's first of all, it's a way for us to help improve our business. But we have a young lady we're trying to support, getting her career off, building a business, doing Pilates. She basically has a practice that she's working to expand, and I think it's just a win-win for her and for us too.
Very cool. Now, to register for that event, just go to Pilates and Pints WTB@gmail.com. You email them and you pay the day of the event. Now, you did Cigar Night a couple of weeks ago, huge, with Stick Cigars right down the street. I loved it. I would love to see it again. How about you?
Absolutely. What a great night. There was such a diversity in the crowd, all ages, everybody outside. We had a beautiful night to be out there. We got to, share some laughs with the gentleman, Dan, who's the owner at Sticks. Mm-hmm. And it was just a good thing to see. And it was, like you mentioned before, it was one of the reasons we wanted to be a part of a community in a downtown setting. And it was a lot of fun. I don't smoke cigars, but I was having as much fun as anybody.
That's awesome. And when you can get people to come in who don't smoke cigars and enjoy the evening, that's a lot of fun.
I spent 10 minutes with the gentleman who was rolling those cigars. I mean, to me, it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's an art.
He was an artist.
Yeah, Cortez. He's I guess his main shop is down in Eatontown.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. They have a place right by Fort Monmouth. That's right. I pass it all the time. All right, so Al, I'm going to ask you this question. Since Memorial Day, you guys have been open 7 days a week. Are you going to keep the hours into the wintertime, or are you going to adjust as needed?
We're going to stay open 7 days a week.
That's the plan.
All right. Because I've noticed, I've come here on a Monday or a Tuesday, and I've seen people in here, and I think it's fantastic. And I think the fact that you're open 7 days a week, I think, is a big boon for the town. Because obviously there are restaurants that are closed and stuff, but you've got activity on a Monday, which I think is great.
People love it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Last question from me here. And first off, I want to thank you guys for having me here, for having the pizza party, for doing the beer, all of that stuff, and, of course, for supporting the Craft Beer Cast. But with the success of this beer, I think that we need to come up with another beer, another collaboration. So I'm thinking The Fun Continues as the title, and we can work with that. But since winter is coming up soon, maybe a 5% easy drinking stout with some local coffee beans. What do you think, Tim?
Oh, yeah. We've definitely been kind of dancing around that style. We've done some coffee stouts before in our little 10-gallon pilot system. So, let's keep talking.
All right. Al, what do you think?
I mean, I love a good coffee stout on nitro. Delicious.
There you go.
Absolutely. Okay, so the collaboration continues. Is this going to be a sweet stout?
No, I think you know what? We don't have to make it sweet. We can make it straight coffee and just give it that coffee sort of, like a little pick-me-up, but not sweet. Doesn't have to be an adjunct. Just a straight.
Whenever we had that pilot batch with the coffee, I mean, people loved it. Right. So it's a good idea.
All right. So we'll talk off mic. There you go. My guests have been Tim Pewitt and Al Povlevsky, the owners. Tim is the brewmaster here at Wet Ticket Brewing, making great beer out of Rahway, New Jersey. More info at wetticketbrewing.com. Here on the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970. The Answer, gentlemen. thank you so much for having me here. Let's go drink some Too Much Fun. Let's go order some pizza from Nancy's Town. Actually, I'm paying for the pizza at Nancy's Townhouse, and let's have some fun tonight.
Honored you're here. Thanks a lot, Al.
Thank you so much.
Up next, it's time for Suds and Duds on the Al Gattulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. Final segment of the Al Gattulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer, and we are certainly delivering the goods here. That's off the album Killing Machine, which was actually retitled in the United States Hellbent for Leather, because Killing Machine was deemed sensitive at the time because of a mass shooting back in the 70s. But this is the fifth studio album from Judas Priest. It came out this week in 1978, and delivering the goods, the boys from Birmingham certainly do. Hope you enjoyed the last two segments with Tim Hewitt from Wet Ticket Brewing. Of course, portions of the program brought to you by Wet Ticket Brewing, 1435 Main Street in beautiful Rahway, New Jersey. Plenty of Too Much Fun still on tap. And let me tell you, if you didn't make it out to the event on Friday night, this coming Thursday, Paragon Tap and Table, one of my favorite places to go and eat and drink great craft beer, they are tapping a keg of Too Much Fun. We're going to start it at 5 o'clock. We'll do it for a couple of hours. I will be there. Tim may also be there as well from Wet Ticket. I will purchase some appetizers. You're more than welcome to help yourself. Right off the Garden State Parkway, exit 135 in Clark, New Jersey. It's in the Target Shopping Center. Just look up Paragon Tap and Table. Come by. I'll be there starting at 5. We'll tap the keg. I'll be there for a couple of hours. We can hang out and have a bit of fun. That is this coming Thursday, starting at 5 o'clock at Paragon Tap and Table. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, let us get into Suds and Duds, and then we've got some news to get to before we get out of here. Started off with, I have to back myself up here, a couple of beers from Aspire that I've gotten through. Some of their collabs. Actually, although this one wasn't a collab, the Seek by Aspire, solid double IPA, very slight bitterness to this, but very, very tasty. And then I had the Conspire Stone Like at Midnight. This was a collab with Carton Brewing. And I have to tell you, nice flavor, grassy, aromatic, and it reminded me of many of the beers that Carton makes, which is always a good thing. So I really enjoyed this one. Great collab from the guys at Aspire as well as Carton Brewing. Then I went to see the Doobie Brothers. No Steve Winwood. Apparently he did not attend the event. He canceled. But it was a couple of hours of the Doobies. It was great. While I was in the parking lot, my good friend Kim, who is one half of Crack One at the Summit, with my other good friend Colleen, they both work at Wet Ticket. Kim had gotten me a crowler of Diamond Spring Brewing's Overboard. I had put it in the refrigerator. I hadn't had a chance to crack it open. Obviously, it's a crowler. I want to enjoy it with a few people. Even though it's low ABV, I still wanted to enjoy it with a few people. So this is a really nice milk stout. And I have to tell you, good flavor. After sitting in my fridge for at least 5 months, I probably should have shook it up a little bit before I poured it out into glasses. But both my best friend Mark and I very much enjoyed it. And thank you, Kim, for that beer. Obviously, at the tailgate, I brought a can of Too Much Fun because, listen, to me, it's a perfect concert tailgating beer. It's an IPA. It's 6.4%. You can have a couple without getting overwhelmed. Very nice. One of the other beers that I had there was the Red Bandana from Departed Souls Brewing. Solid Pilsner for a great cause. Obviously, we told you the story about why Red Bandana was named and why it was a Pilsner. Clean and crisp. Great stuff from Departed Souls. They have their 8th birthday coming up in just a couple of weeks, which should be a lot of fun. And then finished it off with a Bloom by Torch and Crown. This is a great Maibach. Malty, yet super light. Really nicely done. The guys at Torch and Crown still doing a phenomenal job with their beers, which is always a good thing, and very much enjoyed that one. And then trying to think, what did I have here? Oh no, that's it. We're gonna end it off there because we do have a couple of different news items to get to. First up, a Sierra Nevada update from the hurricane from Helene. They've restored their basic utilities to their Mills River tap room. They have reopened for lunch starting this past Friday. They were open from 11 to 4. For all those who were impacted by Hurricane Helene, all of the food was 50% off throughout the weekend. They said they hope to provide a space for the community to gather and share a meal and a pint. With on-site utilities and resources still limited, we will continue to support ongoing and long-term recovery efforts as we continue throughout the broader community. For now, we are grateful to be back to work. That is good news from Sierra Nevada over in Mills River. Goose Island has released Honkers Ale. They finally brought it back 5 years after AB InBev pulled Honkers out of distribution. Since mid-2019, Honkers Ale has been available only on draft at Goose Island Chicago Tap Room. That was the first beer that was brewed at Goose Island back in 1988. So they brought it back in cans, 4.3% ABV. It's now available nationwide again, 12-ounce cans in 6 and 12 packs, according to the brand's webpage. They wrote, like with all good friends, goodbye is never forever. Picking up where we left off, we proudly welcome back a true Chicago original and the beer that started it all, which is good news for those who continue to drink Goose Island beer. And then finally, Firestone Walker earlier this week opened up enrollment for their 2025 Brewmasters Collective Beer Club. It might be sold out by the time you listen to this, but this is an amazing Brewmasters Collective. It is, as AmericanCraftBeer.com calls it, the Tesla of beer clubs. And it really is. I mean, if you think about it. They introduced it back in 2021. In 2022, they expanded the club to reach beer lovers in Kentucky, Nebraska, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, Vermont, and Virginia, plus Washington, D.C. The last 2 years, in 2020, I guess the last 2 years, the beer club's membership sold out overnight. That's how good it is, and that's how exclusive the offerings are. So they opened up enrollment for the 2025 edition. It'll only remain open until capacity is reached. Obviously, it's very limited. Highlights of the 2025 Beer Club include collaborations with some of the world's most notable brewers, including Horace, Leverg, Green Cheek, Pinehouse, Revolution, Omnipolo, and Frau Gruber. Okay, are you getting me here? Members receive a welcome kit, 4 seasonal collections, as well as special benefits such as preferred pricing. They get 15% off online and at each of the Firestone Walker's 3 breweries, VIP taproom access, complimentary Paso Robles brewery tours, lottery access to purchase tickets to the Firestone Walker Invitational Beer Fest as well. That's great. Now, you get 4 seasonal collections totaling 21 barrel-aged beers and small batch releases from Firestone Walker's Propagator R&D Brewhouse in Venice. Each collection will feature 5 barrel-aged beers and a 4-pack from the Propagator. You're getting a lot of beer. Again, you get the intro. You get a collective choice batch number 4, a stout with member-voted adjuncts, merchandise and membership card. That ships in January. In mid-February, you get Parabola. You get Ancho and Fig Parabola. You get Damien Barley one. You get Green Cheek and Pinehouse collab. A stout with torched marshmallow, banana, and peanut butter. A Saison with pear. Plus Propagator 4-pack 16-ounce cans. Collection 2, which ships in early May. You get Velvet Noir, Uber Omni Gruber. That's the collection with Omnipolo. You get Lucifer Golden Strong, a triple-aged ale aged in Chardonnay barrels. You get Paso Parabola, an imperial stout aged in French oak red wine barrels. Primal Elements, a fruited sour ale ripened in oak barrels. That goes out in May. Collection 3, that ships in late July. You get Lumber Thunder, a Midnight Melange, Revolution of Ruby, which is the collab with Revolution. You're getting a ton of stuff, plus a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans. And then the last one in late October, you get the 29th anniversary ale, Grain Shift, the Horace collab, the Leverg collab, Cool Ship Wild Ale, plus another 4-pack of 16-ounce cans. It's unbelievable. It costs $399 plus tax and shipping, or $425 in installments. You can have the option of delivery in those states that I mentioned, or pick up at Firestone Walker locations in Paso Robles, Buellton, and Venice. An amazing collection. If you are a fan of Firestone Walker like I am, you would certainly want to get this because it is absolutely, positively worth it. Bottom line. And there you go. Unfortunately, maybe I would love to put in my brother-in-law's address in Pennsylvania and just have it shipped. God, that's good stuff. All right. My thanks to everybody involved in the show, as well as my guest, Tim Pewitt and all the folks at Wet Ticket Brewing. Thanks so much for coming out to our special Too Much Fun release at Wet Ticket Brewing this past Friday. It was awesome. And, of course, last but not least, the great Buddy Watson. I will be back live on the Joe Piscopo Show Monday at 6 a.m. This has been the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. You know what? Cheers, everybody.